Well, unbelievably, they're actually considering this. Let's begin. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but so far it seems that it's the Health Secretary's job to pee everyone off in some way or another. For instance, a couple of years ago we had someone like Matt Headcock, who's of course just left the jungle, and now it appears it's Stephen Barclay's turn. He surely must think that it's okay to harvest our data whenever we go to the public toilet if this story is anything to go by. I mean, can you just imagine it?
Well, you can either provide a specimen or be fined £100 for us to quite literally take the pee.
Well, I heard recently that if you click the subscribe button down there, then they will all be in line for an enema or a lobotomy, so why not give it a push? The article says that Labour has blasted plans to spy on people's wee as taking a pee after a proposal from Home Secretary to bug urinals to look out for diseases. Home Secretary Steve Barclay was speaking at the Spectator Health Conference when he said that putting chips in toilets would ease pressure on the NHS. He added that it wasn't much different to sharing information on Facebook or Instagram. People trust a company in California with data more than they trust the UK government, he said. Put a chip in the urinal and it will tell someone who doesn't even realise that they have a condition. Kidney problems and sexually transmitted diseases are just two conditions that are often diagnosed with urine. Well, to be honest, I'm pretty sure we can all agree that public toilets aren't exactly the nicest places, are they? And therefore, of course, you want to spend the least amount of time in there as possible. Although, admittedly, it does take me a little while longer to roll it all back up. But to be honest, how much of an invasion of our privacy is this, eh? I mean, are we going to have to sign something just to be able to use the toilet in future? Or maybe tick a terms and conditions box or something like that? I mean, we're not China, are we? We're England, or the UK rather, so I can't see how anyone could think that something like this would be okay. And surely they'd need other personal details to tell you the result, unless of course it actually shows you up on some sort of screen while you're actually having a wee at the time. And of course there is the other elephant in the room question of what they would actually do with that data once you've been given your result and left the toilet. And of course, I don't know about you, but if I've got some sort of problem, then the first place that I'll think about going to is either the doctors or hospital, rather than the toilet. And at the end of the day, something like this should be the person's choice, whether they want to give that information or DNA or whatever or not. So I hope at the very least there'll be some sort of opt-out option, if this of course ever does get the go-ahead, which obviously I hope it doesn't, for privacy reasons more than anything. I don't know about you, but is anyone getting fed up with hearing save the NHS or things like that? The NHS is meant to save us, not the other way round. And there wouldn't be so much of a backlog if they didn't implement some of the policies they did a couple of years ago. But of course, I understand that it was a new sort of type of virus or disease or whatever, and we didn't know much about it then compared to what we do now. Barclay said, I think patients want to be able to get early treatment and are therefore willing to lean on their data, providing that can be done in the right way with the right safeguards. That is the conversation we should be having. But Labour said the plans are taking the pee, while Shadow Secretary Wes Steering said the NHS waiting times are already down the toilet after 12 years of Tory rule. Any policy that invades the right to privacy without explicit consent, including bugging toilets, should be dropped, one Tory MP told The Sun, saying that their party should stop chasing a big nanny state. But to be honest, how this could become an actual government consideration is beyond me, because whilst of course health warnings might have been a good thing, in reality the idea should have been laughed all the way out of the room over its privacy concerns. Speaking of which, in this video you'd think your money is quite private, wouldn't you? Unless of course the bank suddenly decides to delete it all. Anyway, subscribe for more and I'll see you in the next one.